are we doing today? Happy Tuesday. It is January 30th. Oh my God, the time has just flown by. I feel like this month of January has just completely gone so quickly. We are still in the thick of our 21-day body transformation challenge. This is the last week. So we have how many days left here? So we started on the 14th. That was 14, 15. So we're on day 16. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more days left of the challenge. All of you guys that are in the challenge are doing so amazing. For those of you guys that are watching me and joining me live, say hello in the comment section so I don't feel like I'm all by myself doing this. I'm going to be monitoring messages and anything that you have to say on my phone while we do this. So I just normally just kind of put it up on the side here. It looks like we've got one person watching. So say hello as we continue to have other people join us. Today, I'm going to be talking about the topic today. Hey, Franca, how's it going? The topic today is how to lose body fat and gain more muscle in your 40s with less time in the gym. Okay. I think this is an important topic because majority of you that are in my group are 40 plus. The majority of the clients that we work with are 40 plus. So I kind of want to break this down for you guys. And why I wanted to talk about this topic is because as I do challenges a lot of times, I see a lot of comments, a lot of questions that are being asked. I feel that there's still a lot of misinformation out there. And, when I do these live trainings, my purpose is to educate you all in terms of providing you with evidence-based nutrition, evidence-based things that actually work, what we actually do with our clients. Our approach is not about quick fix fad diet approaches. We are about teaching you habits for long-term sustainable fat loss so that you could do this for the rest of your life. And you are not in this constant struggle of yo-yo dieting, of losing the weight, gaining the weight, losing the weight, gaining the weight, by trying several diets out there. Like I just spoke to a lady yesterday that joined our program that spent, 40 plus years dieting, trying multiple and different types of diets. She's now in her 50s. And, even for myself, like with my own journey, I got into the best shape of my life in my 40s. Okay. So, this is why I want to talk to you guys. But prior to that, I had tried different diets. I've tried, cutting out carbs because I saw, one of my cousins doing it. And so she lost a lot of weight. So I tried to do that as well too. I would lose 10 pounds, gain 10 pounds. Then, I tried meal replacement shakes. So I did isogenics for a while as well too. Same thing. I would lose a little bit of weight, gain the weight back afterwards. It was constantly losing and gaining the same 10 pounds over and over again. So I really want to kind of break it down for you. I know that as we step into our 40s, we're often it's a very busy time in our lives. Either we're really focused on our career, we have kids, we've got a lot more responsibility on our plate. However, it doesn't mean that we have to say goodbye to the fact that we can have the physique that we want. In fact, in your 40s, it can be a time to rejuvenate your body. It can be a time that you can have time to focus on your body. I feel we're more organized during this time of our lives. And what we can do is build, lose body fat, gain lean muscle, do this with a very balanced approach that respects your time. And I'm going to go over all of that and how we can achieve that without spending countless hours in the gym. Okay, so what I want to talk about first of all is, and I did a post about this last week, but I want to talk about when it comes to shedding pounds and fat loss, it's really essential to understand how our bodies burn calories. While exercise is really beneficial for health and well-being. It is not the silver bullet for fat loss, as many believe it to be. You know, one thing, the misconception often begins with like these fitness apps that you have or gadgets like your watch, your phone, that starts tracking like how many calories you're burning throughout the day. However, I want you to understand that these devices are not accurate in tracking like how many calories you're actually consuming. And you really want to use these tools with a pinch of skepticism. Okay. The calories counts that they provide are inaccurate, leading to a lot of times you overestimating the impact that your workout has on your fat loss. Okay. A lot of times we're thinking, oh, I burned so many calories, that means that equals fat loss. No, yes, we need a deficit in our energy, but it does not come from like the calories burned essentially. Okay. And I think we get this big misconception. And that's why we've had clients come to us where they would spend hours and hours doing cardio every single week, like, but seeing absolutely no changes in their bodies, like not losing body fat, no changes in their physique. And because like that wasn't the primary driver for fat loss. Okay. And I want you to understand that endless hours of doing cardio does not equal fat loss per se. I first want you to understand the process of burning calories is more complex than just sweating it out at the gym. Okay. So, how we burn our total energy expenditure, this is called TDEE. It breaks down into several components, each playing a distinct role in how we use energy. Okay, so how we burn energy throughout the day. Hi, Denise. Hi, Angela. Just want to say hi to you, ladies. This is how we are burning calories throughout the day, is decided by our TDDE. Okay, so 70% of our calorie expenditure comes from our basal metabolic rate. This is the energy that our body uses at rest for essential functions like breathing, circulating blood. Okay, so 70% of our calories burned is just for our essential function. This is called our basal metabolic rate. Next, 15% of that comes from non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So this is all the movements that we do throughout the day. Your walking, your steps, your gesturing like I'm doing right now, the fidgeting that you're doing, the blinking of your eyes. These are called non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So 15% of that comes from there. Then we have the thermic effect of feeding. This is the energy used to digest and process foods. That's about 10%. And only 5% comes from the calorie burned from exercise. Okay. That's a very, very small percentage that is coming from the calories burned from exercise. So this breakdown, actually, I'm going to show you the breakdown. I'm going to show you here the breakdown so you guys can see this, a visual of this. I did post this the other day, but I wanted to go over this again so you ladies can really understand that, okay? But for you guys that are watching right now, I'm just curious, do you guys have the same thoughts around that? Like, do you feel like calories burned equals like that's how much fat I'm going to lose? Just curious about that. Pop it in the comment section. Or have you been one of those people that have tracked your calories burned in your workout, like either with an app or a watch that you're using? You know, just pop it in the comment section. Yeah, that's me. That's totally me or not. I'm just curious. But here we go. We have the breakdown. So look at this. 70% comes from a BMR. 15% is coming from NEAT. 10% is coming from the thermic effect of feeding. 5% comes from the food, from the exercise activity thermogenesis. That's what EAT is called. So that is from exercising. Okay. So now that we understand how the body is using energy, we see that significantly the majority of the calorie burn doesn't come from hitting the treadmill or, you know, even while you're lifting weights. It comes from our BMR. And it also comes from our non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So we can enhance your BMR slightly by building muscle mass. So we know that muscle tissue is metabolically active, meaning it burns more calories at rest compared to fat tissue. So therefore, by focusing on strength training and building muscle, it can indirectly boost your calorie expenditure. That means your body is actually burning more calories at rest when you are actively not working out. So, but I also want to point out that the cornerstone of fat loss isn't about burning calories. It's predominantly about nutrition and being in a calorie deficit. So, consuming less calories. Okay. So, what you eat, how much you eat, and the quality of food choices play a pivotal role in determining your fat loss success. So, it's not just about being in a calorie deficit, it's also about what foods are you eating in that calorie deficit. What is primarily important when you're in that calorie deficit is that you are consuming whole foods, 80% whole foods, that they are packed with protein, because we want to make sure that we have enough protein in your diet. So we aim for about 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight, or ideal body weight. So if you're 180 pounds, your goal is a 150, you want to be consuming about 150 grams of protein per day. Remember what we said earlier, that 10% comes from the thermic effect of feeding. So that means that, and actually protein has a higher thermic effect of feeding than compared to carbohydrates and fats. So what that means, ladies, is that just by digesting more protein, your body is burning more calories, okay? So that is one reason why we want to be having protein in our diets. But the other reason why we want to be having protein in our diet is because I had this question asked by somebody the other day. They're like, okay, they read my post and they're like, okay, so if we just focus on nutrition, are we just going to be losing body fat? And the answer is no. If you just focus on nutrition only and you're not strength training and you're not having enough protein in your diet, you're actually going to lose muscle mass as well too. And this is what ends up happening is a lot of people, they go on these quick fix fad diet approaches. They lose 25 pounds in about, 25 pounds in 3 months. Half of that is muscle. So now they've slowed down their metabolism because they have less muscle on their body. And when they go to regain the weight afterwards, it's mostly body fat that they're putting on afterwards. So yes, it matters what we're eating. Okay. So and like it just doesn't matter that we're just cutting calories, and majority of those calories can be coming from processed foods. No, like it has to be 80% whole foods. You can have 20% fun foods in there as well, too, because that's really important for sustainability. And we want to make sure that we're consuming enough protein in your diet. So incorporating strength training into your weight loss journey is crucial because it helps ensure that your body primarily loses body fat, not muscle. If your strategy relies slowly on nutrition for weight loss, you risk losing not just body fat, but also that valuable muscle that we just talked about. And so that loss can negatively impact your body composition, leading to you actually carrying more body fat. So if you think about it, if you lose just, because there's a difference between weight loss and fat loss, lady. Okay, weight loss is when you lose body fat and muscle. Fat loss is you're just losing muscle only and losing fat only and preserving as much lean muscle as possible. So by doing the strength training, my point was, is if you do weight loss only and you lose all of that lean muscle mass, you're actually sitting at a higher body fat percentage because you've lost that lean muscle mass. And so like you could be carrying more body fat, or your body fat percentage is higher. The goal is always, can we get our body fat percentage to be at a healthy range? Okay. And that will come into making sure your body composition is not compromised. So what we mean by body composition is having more lean muscle, less body fat. So if you are just focusing on nutrition only, you are getting away from having more muscle on your body. You are getting away from having an improved overall body composition. So the other thing too is that when you just lose weight and you lose muscle, it makes maintaining that very challenging afterwards too, because of the reduced muscle mass. And it means that your body is actually burning less calories at rest as well too. So in essence, by preserving and building muscle through strength training, you support a healthier body composition and you foster a more sustainable, effective fat loss journey. And that's really what's important. Okay. So the other things that are going to be really important when you're training is that, you know, we talked about nutrition, we talked about the strength training. So you want to make sure that you're strength training at least 2 to 3 times a week. Strength training is important. If your goal is to improve your overall body composition, so meaning you want to look really toned and defined and build that hourglass body, we need to strength train. The reason why we need to strength train is to build up that lean muscle mass so you have that really nice shape on your physique while you lose that body fat. But it's also so that we can keep your metabolic health really strong so that your body is burning more calories at rest. And that's primarily why we want to be strength training, and also to be signaling to your body, like, let's not lose muscle mass. Let's preserve as much lean muscle mass as possible. The other thing that's going to be really important is sleep and recovering, ladies, okay? Often overlooked, proper sleep and recovery. For those of you that are doing the challenge right now, I talk about this a lot. It's really important for losing body fat and gaining lean muscle. So we want to aim for about 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. I'd say ideally at least 8. Poor sleep can hinder your fitness progress by affecting hormones that are regulated, that regulate appetite and muscle repair. Poor sleep can be, or actually good sleep can help manage stress levels. So high stress levels can lead to increased cortisol, a hormone that can promote fat storage, especially around the midsection. And also as we go through perimenopause and menopause, our bodies actually store fat differently than other phases in our lives. So as we go through perimenopause and menopause, we often hear about the menopausal belly. And that is just because our body is storing body fat different. Okay. And the other thing too is that we want to have recovery days. We do not want to be training 6 days a week. This is too much for the body. You know, I recommend at minimum 2 to 3 days a week, maximum 5 days a week. But you could do active recovery days where you're doing maybe some stretching. You could do some walking. You know, walking is important. Daily movement is important. Actually, every single day, it could be really great help in reducing overall stress. Okay. So when it comes to fat loss, we want to make sure that, like I said, we're not relying on exercise as a strategy for fat loss. Okay. It will help. But, you know, the first thing that I hear a lot of people say is like, okay, I need to lose weight. I'm going to just start working out to lose weight. That is not a good strategy for fat loss. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to fat loss, the strategy needs to be nutrition. And strategies like I'm cutting out sugar is not a solid nutrition strategy. Strategies like intermittent fasting is not a solid nutrition strategy, because especially for women over 40 who are very sensitive to stress, not eating meals for a long period of time is very stressful to your body. So, and also not to mention, you can eat a lot of calories in a 6-hour window. You know, not eating can increase your hunger hormones, and that hunger signal, very, very, very strong signal it can become. So when you go to your eating window with intermittent fasting, a lot of times people are overeating during this time period, and it's just not a good strategy. The other thing that, you know, is really, really important is that you understand where your starting point is. You know, if like you're looking for help or whatever the case may be, your starting point should be taking a look at, like, what are you currently doing? How many calories are you currently consuming? And tracking on an app without weighing your food is not an accurate, like, it's not accurate for you to say, like, I know how many calories I'm consuming. It's literally just you're guesstimating. Okay. If you are not weighing out your food, this is really the only way you will know how many calories your body is consuming at the end of the day. That is science. This is math. Okay. And so the only way we can know how many calories you are consuming is by weighing out your food. So you need to have a starting point. Like when people come to me and they're like, I want to lose weight, okay, where are you currently at? Like how many calories you're currently consuming? Well, I really don't know. Well, then we can't even put together a plan for you on where to go from here. So start off with like tracking your calories. You can use an app like Chronometer or MyFitnessPal for you to just see like how many calories you're actually consuming. Get yourself a food scale and start weighing out your food. And even for those that did the challenge, that are part of the challenge, like I asked some of you, like, how many of you, like how many calories you're consuming? Well, yeah, I think I'm around 1,600 calories. Okay, well, did you weigh out your food? No, I didn't. Okay, then you actually don't know if you're at 1,600 calories or not. So once you have that basis of like tracking every single thing that goes into your mouth, and knowing exactly where you're at, then you can decide where you need to go from there. But again, the strategy, like this is why so many women get disappointed. They're like, I don't understand. I'm like working out 5 days a week. Like, why am I not losing body fat? Because exercise is not the driver for fat loss, ladies. The driver for fat loss is nutrition. The exercise is a bonus on top of that. The strength training is a bonus on top of that, so that it will help you build that lean muscle mass so that you're burning more calories at rest. The cardio is not the best strategy for fat loss because that breaks down muscle mass. And so again, what you end up doing is losing that lean muscle. So not a great strategy for fat loss either. And plus your body becomes really efficient at burning calories when you're doing cardiovascular exercise because our bodies are very smart. They want to adapt all the time. So the strategy needs to be nutrition and proper nutrition. So when our clients come to us, one of the first things that we do is we do a full nutritional assessment. So we know where they're starting at. We have them track their food for 7 days. And then based on that, then we will create a customized meal plan. So I'm going to just stop here for a second and answer Franco's question. How long do you need to do the strength training? Is 20 minutes okay? What's your recommendation? Yeah, you could start off with 20 minutes, Franca, and then maybe go up to half an hour to 45 minutes. The thing is like, it's better than nothing, and start with strength training there. Even if you do 2 to 3 times a week, the thing is like, you want to be focusing on 6 compound lifts while you're working out minimum. And then progressively using progressive overload after that to continue to stimulate muscle growth. The other question, is it better to not do any cardio and do all the weight training with nutrition? Yes, it is 100% better. We don't put any cardio into our programming for our clients. We might put a little bit of metabolic conditioning in there. It's very like short 10-minute metabolic conditioning that we do in there. That is the extent of it. And why we do that is because we are trying to preserve as much lean muscle as possible. What you should be doing instead, Michelle, and as you work with Tammy, she will work with you on this one, is walking your daily steps. Remember when I broke it down for you earlier? 15% comes from non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That is walking. That is movement. So that goes towards your steps throughout the day. So that is another big thing that you can do that can really help with fat loss, is focusing on your daily movement and those steps that you're getting in. Cardio, once we start doing cardio and elevating your heart rate, cardio is for endurance. It's for heart health. It's not a exercise that helps you build lean muscle mass. And if anything, cardiovascular exercise will break down lean muscle mass for energy. And we do not want that. So it's better to do weight training with nutrition and walking. Okay. And this is what we do with our clients. You know, we don't prescribe any cardiovascular workouts for our clients at all in their programming. They love it. They're not, you know, spending hours in the gym to achieve the physique that they want. We just focus on the nutrition, which is going to be the primary driver of fat loss. And we focus on the weight training to help them build lean muscle so that they're burning more calories at rest. And so that they're actually building a really nice shape and physique to their body. And we monitor steps and daily activity. So those are the three things that you want to be focusing on. And also sleep and recovery is just as important. So, you know, if you're only sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night, you know, it's going to be really hard for your body to lose body fat. So that is why we really focus on the sleep and recovery, managing stress. These are all really, really huge components in your fat loss journey and helping you build and shape that hourglass body. So when our clients come to us, you know, we take them through 3 phases. The first phase that we take them through is our metabolic restoration phase. So this is where we are helping them build more lean muscle. We are helping them with their nutrition, ensuring that they're eating enough protein in their diet. You know, we give them a customized nutrition program and protocol and meal plan specifically for them. During this initial time frame, you know, their energy is improving. You know, we notice that hormonally, hormonal symptoms improve, their digestion improves, their sleep improves. This initial phase of working with our clients is like we're building the home, and we have to make sure the foundation of the home is really strong. We also call this phase a metabolic priming phase, okay? Like getting your body ready for like really great fat loss and successful fat loss. So during this phase as well too, we focus on a lot of habits with our clients, like meal planning, meal prepping, because listen, nutrition is the driving force to fat loss. So we have to understand how to plan out our meals. Like, how are we going to get there at the end of the day? You know, we do give our clients meal plans that they can follow, but a big component of that is learning to meal plan, meal prep, like getting your day set up for success. So we work a lot on that with our clients. And then once they've gone through that first phase, which we call restore, then we take them through the second phase, which is called the lean out phase. Most of our clients are already starting to lean out in that first phase, but this is where we'll see accelerated fat loss during this phase. But we also see huge body composition changes during this phase. So as we help our clients lose body fat through the strength training and the marriage between nutrition and their strength training program, we are helping them sculpt a really beautiful hourglass physique. Okay. So the rounded shoulders, the V-taper back, the smaller waistline, the lifted glutes, like our clients don't leave our programming looking like, you know, skinny fat or melted candles. Our clients leave our program looking toned, defined, and having shape to their physique. And that is because we focus on strength training. Their metabolic health is really, really healthy because they've got muscle on their body. And let me tell you, ladies, do not be afraid of lifting weights. You will never look like a man. If anything, you are going to look phenomenal. With the more muscle that you have on your body, the more muscle you have on your body, you actually look leaner. So don't be afraid of that. And our clients, you know, they stay in our lean out phase until we get them to their goal, you know, until they feel like they look amazing in their favorite pair of jeans, like they're fitting into clothes that they haven't fit into in a long time. You know, they're going out shopping and loving what they see in the mirror and feeling fantastic in their clothes. So we stay in this phase until we've reached their goal with them. But the final phase that we take our clients through is sustainability, is called sustain, because we have to know how to do this for life, ladies. Okay. This is why some of these other programs don't work, is because it's very restrictive. These programs are cookie cutter programs that are given out to people, and you are just learning how to live for a very short period of time in restriction to get you to where you want to be. But what happens afterwards when you leave those programs? Most of the time, we gain the weight back again. Why? Because the way you went into your fat loss journey was something that you knew was not sustainable. So I always tell people, when I talk to them, I talk to a lot of people in the community, and I always say, like, whatever you choose to do, make sure it's something you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life. So if you like carbs and you do keto, probably not a really good program to do, because guess what's going to happen when you finish keto? You're going to go back to eating carbs and you have no idea how to implement that back into your life. You're just going to go back to eating the way that you normally eat, and you put the weight back on again. So our final phase is teaching our clients sustainability, like teaching them these are your maintenance calories. This is how we maintain where you're currently at right now. Teaching them complete lifestyle integration, like how to navigate restaurants, date nights, vacations, how to, make sure you're going out to social events, like how to do life and still maintain what you have, so our clients walk around 365 days out of the year looking fit, toned, defined, like maintaining their physique for the rest of their lives. Most of our clients actually continue to see improvements. They finish, they graduate from our coaching program, they go into, they go on out of our coaching program, and they like still are seeing incredible results, looking leaner, looking stronger, like still continuing to build lean muscle mass. Because why? We've taught them how to do this. They're not coming out of our program rebounding and gaining the weight back. Do you know that 95% of people that go on a diet gain the weight back again? 95% of people. So only 5% of people are maintaining what they have, and most of the time they're doing it because they found a sustainable way to do it. I would say those 5% of people are the clients that are graduating out of our program. They're not gaining the weight back again. As long as they stay in our program and complete all 3 phases and graduate from our program, they know how to do this for the rest of their lives. Okay, they actually they know how to even improve their physiques even more by building more lean muscle mass as they leave our programming. Like, our goal is not for our clients to stay with us forever. Our goal is to teach our clients how to do this forever. That is really what I want at the end of the day. I am so sick and tired of hearing stories like the one I heard yesterday of a woman spending 40 plus years dieting. That's a long time. That is a really, really long time to be spending dieting and losing and gaining and losing and gaining. And they're not alone. Lots of other clients have spent 20, 30 years dieting. And so if you add up all of that and what you've spent on all of those diets that you've done, like, that's probably a lot of money that was gone into that. Whereas, yes, it's an investment to work with us, but, like, you stay with us, like, what, a year, maybe 6 months, a year, maybe a year and a half, really depending on what your goal is. But a year and a half is a lot shorter than 20 years or 30 years trying to figure this out on how to do this, right? So we teach long-term sustainability. So our clients know how to go on vacation and not come back on vacation 10 pounds heavier, but they're still enjoying themselves. And that's really, really going to be the key, is teaching our clients how to do that at the end of the day. So if you're someone that needs help, and this sounds like, a program that, you want more interest, or more interested, want more information about, you're interested about, just shoot me a DM. What we will do afterwards is I will ask to have a conversation with you. We will get on a call. We'll discuss what your goals are, and we will just see if our program would be a good fit. And then we can kind of go from there. We don't just accept everyone into our programming. We first need to make sure that our program is a good fit for you, and that we feel that you're like the ideal type of client that we like to work with in our programming. And then we will kind of go from there. All right. So ladies, I hope that was really informative for you. I hope that, I answered all your questions. Do we have any other questions? Let me just quickly check on this. Tina, we've got some ladies watching here. Yeah, no, I think I answered all the questions. Does anybody else have any more questions? Does that all make sense to all of you? you know, in terms of what we need to be focusing on for fat loss. Again, exercise is not a strategy for fat loss. Okay. It will help. Strength training will help. It'll help you preserve that lean muscle mass, but it's not the be all end all. And that's why we see a lot of people get frustrated when they start working out and maybe not, they don't see the results that they're looking for. Because I've had people actually work with personal trainers and still, like, maybe they got stronger and stuff like that, but didn't see changes. And that's because they didn't have the nutrition component there. Like, the nutrition is where it's really going to focus and be the primary driver when it comes to fat loss. All right, ladies, I hope that was really informative for you. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. Send me a message through Messenger. Hopefully you all know how to get a hold of me. But you know, we and my team, we will do our best to respond back to you all. Okay. Have a great day, ladies, and have a good one. Bye-bye.